Hello and welcome to Chord Dave Live number 103. Thanks for joining me. It is Saturday night. It is 10 p.m. Irish time, so wherever you are in the world, cheers and sláinte to you, my friend. Yes, it has been one of those weeks, um, and we've had an awful lot of stuff not happen that was supposed to happen. But hey, them's the breaks. So yeah, let's dig into stuff talking about guitars and things. Not an awful lot of exciting things I don't think happened this week, but as in the last few weeks, my finger has been off the pulse a little bit. So throw in your questions if you've anything you want to know about. Did put up a video today. It was supposed to be yesterday, but somebody forgot to upload it to YouTube. It's been on Patreon since Thursday. So there you go. Apologies to those of you who knew there was a Patreon video but waited for YouTube. Or like, why didn't Dave put the video on YouTube? Just forgot about it until I was hanging out this afternoon, and I was like, oh, I better put that video up some stage. So yeah, you might have seen it. It went on YouTube about an hour ago. And yeah, I hope you liked it. A few things, I'm sure we'll talk about it. There's a few things missing from it. There's a few ideas left missing. Pretty much had about 20 minutes to record a video this week. So I did. So that's what we had. And yeah, let me know your thoughts and feelings about it if you want to. Otherwise, feel free to not do that. Anyways, I suppose we'll dig into the chat, see who's here, see what's going on. And don't forget, you can ask anything you want in the comment section there. You do have to be subscribed for at least a minute to chat in the chat room. Or chat box or whatever, just to chat to us. You got to be subscribed. So do that. If it's your first Chord Dave live experience, please do say hello to us. We do not really bite all that often, so I'm sure you'll be safe. But anyway, let's dig into it and see how we're going. Scott Bogfoot, of course, was here first. He always is. Don't know how he does it. I think he stalks me a little bit, but that's fine. We love it. Rob F is here as well. Great to see you, Rob. Hope you are well, my friend. And formerly known as T. There's a bit of deja vu going on. Is that because you watched the video earlier? T. Thanks, man. Great to see you as always. Let me see. Yeah, Scott re-uploaded his videos. I haven't seen either the first one or the re-upload yet. As I said, I've been too busy. The mixes were messy. You're saying about the song. I'm sure it was all good. I'm sure it was all good. Anyways, let's see what else we got. Where do you say? Oh yeah, bit of deja vu. I bumped the exposure up 15% and re-uploaded it. Not much brighter. I mean, that should make it brighter a good bit. So let's see. Rob says, all good, Scott. Both versions looked fine to me, though I did watch them on different devices. That can make a difference. One first one a computer monitor and the second a TV. I mean, you should get decent images through those, so no worries there. Scott Brower says, woohoo, which obviously is good to see. You're in a good mood, Scott. Glad to have you with us, man. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well. T says, in relation to the previous video, you can get a new Gibson LP Tribute, an SG Tribute, LP Modern Light, LP Studio, LP Junior, SG Special for below 1,510 euros. So, yeah, you're right, T, but you're right now. The tributes are going. They're done. They're finished. They're not making any more of them. So they are officially discontinued by Gibson. And that's why I highlighted that Sam Asher selling them at a reduced price in the video. But as soon as the places sell out of their tributes, SG and Les Paul, no more tributes. The entry level price point for a Gibson is going to be the Les Paul Modern Light, whatever price that is, where you buy your guitars. Les Paul Studio is going to be more expensive. Les Paul Junior is going to be more expensive, and anything else is going to be more expensive. All the SG models and stuff like that. I don't know if they're planning to bring out a new entry level SG or replace the Tribute with something on the SG side. Maybe they're going to call it an SG Lite or something. I don't know what they're doing, but they have categorically said to a few people that I know, tributes are gone. The Modern Light is going to be the cheapest Gibson. So take from that what you will. So yeah, should be an opportunity to get deals on those models you mentioned. But so far, I haven't seen great deals. I think the tributes from Sam Ash, for example, in the States, they're going for around $12.99. They were going for $12.99 new. They're selling them for like $9.60 now. So, because that's not too bad. I was expecting to see big Black Friday blowouts for the tributes, but I didn't see any. So, you never know. Maybe there'll be like New Year sales or something, and they'll be included in that. But for now, I haven't seen anything. But they're discontinued, and they're not. I saw a couple of people, a couple of channels who do put out like rumors saying that they believe they're being revamped. They're not. They're not being revamped. I spoke to someone directly within Gibson who, well, someone who works within Gibson, who would be in the know, who gives good information. And they said, look, the Les Paul tribute's gone. It's the Les Paul Modern Light. I also heard several other people on YouTube and other sources say the same thing. So pretty confident that that's the case. But yeah, at the minute, you can still pick up stuff cheaper than Les Paul Modern Light and $15.99. But what in the video, the 5 guitars I was pointing out as well, I just wanted to show Les Pauls. And everybody knows SGs are far superior. So SG Special is the way to go if you're going to spend $1,500 or so on a guitar. But yeah, the 5 I highlighted in the video, I just thought they were pretty cool. I actually went through Reverb from $699 to $1,500 for Gibsons. And those are 5 of the more standoutish ones. There was some other ones, but I kept them to myself because who knows what might happen in the new year. Crypto's going up, so you never know. We might be buying guitars again. Rob F says yes, T. There are quite a few Gibson options between Modern Lights at $1,500 and the SG Standard at $2,000 plus. There's a few in that area for sure. Mostly SGs, which is great. But yeah, your studio options are. What's a studio costing you now? For $15.99, $16, something like that. But yeah, there's definitely still options in the 15 to 2000 area. What I was trying to do was directly compare it to like those 1500 Epiphones that are out there. So because there's more of them coming, as I was saying. Let me see. We got Marsha's here as well. Great to see you, Marsha. Hope you're well. It says, guess who was in the Eeyore again? Well, I'm guessing you're not so well then. Well, hopefully you're feeling a bit better. Had a little bit of a scare. We thought it was having a heart attack. No biggie. I mean, people survive heart attacks all the time. I'm okay. Still got to follow up with a cardiologist, but all those things checked out fine. That's good to hear. Good to hear that it all checked out fine. Maybe just, take it easy for the next while. If that's the case. I don't know. That must have been a pretty scary situation. So yeah, take care of yourself. Glad to see you. Hope you are feeling a bit better for sure. T says, I hope your Eeyore is better than our A&E. You could age waiting to be seen over here. That's not too bad, T. Not some days. I did the last time I had to go to A&E. I went in, God, it must have been around 3 o'clock. And I got out around 11 o'clock that night. So having been just ignored and left for most of the day while I was in the greatest pain I've ever felt in my life and was quite ill due to it. They were like, oh yeah, that's nothing, don't worry about it. Sent me home at 11 o'clock. Anyways, it was all good. I got some time off work, so it worked out. Marcia says, with me, it could be neurological or something else. Some of the symptoms can seem like one thing and then another. I had a very difficult week, but I'm sure I'll be much better next week. Hopefully so, Marcia. And best wishes to you for sure from the Chord Dave community. We wish you a speedy recovery. Yeah, it's rough being sick. I'm seeing a lot of people be sick lately, and it sucks, man. It sucks. It's one of the worst things to witness and to stand by as well. Not being able to help people is a bummer as well. I don't know. It's been a rough year for people being sick. T says, hopefully they figure it out, Marcia, and make you all better. Indeed. Best wishes for that as well. Rob F says, wholeheartedly agree. All the best, Marcia. Indeed. And Marcia says, in New York City, you can be in Eeyore for 3 days before getting seen, depending on where you go. Thank heavens it was the quietest I've ever seen in my life this time around. It was in and out in around 9 hours. I mean, that's There you go. Yeah, I my experience. I very when I was a kid, I used to go to A&E all the time because I was always breaking stuff, bones and things, for the crack. Why not? Um, doing sports and stuff. But yeah, my adult life, I've only had to go once, which was 3 years ago now or so. Yeah, so that was no fun. And as I said, that was three till 11. Was that 9 hours? 8 hours. That's not too bad. I've never had to spend 3 days in the ER though. That'd be kind of whack, as the kids say. Are the kids still saying that? I have no idea. Scott says, any of you guys have a Technivore Moco Master? No. But if I did, I wouldn't tell you about it. So there you go. That's a kitchen thing, right? Um, I think it's like a really old kitchen appliance or something. No, I don't. Mr. Modern over here. I've got a toaster and a water kettle, as they call them in the US. Rob F says, I think if you're having a heart attack in the USCR, they give you immediate attention. Otherwise, you get to wait many hours. Yeah, I mean, if, if they thought you were having a heart attack and they didn't, that would be pretty shitty of them, to be quite honest. Glad to hear you're okay, Marcia says. Scott, indeed, indeed. Have no idea what you are talking about. Very the same question for him. I have the very same question for him. For who? Um, is it the Mocha Master question? I know. T, what's your question? If it's for me, I got all the answers. Scott says, it's a posh coffee maker. See, I knew you put it in your kitchen somewhere. And Marcia says, and hit that thumbs up. Do it. Indeed. Why not? Why not do it? We do indeed have just 35 people watching and 18 likes. So it'll even out by the end of the show, I am sure. Throw your guitar questions in as well, guys, if there's anything. Because I know we've had a lot of rumors and stuff this year. If there's anything that you want to know about that I haven't covered throughout the year or have expected to see or haven't got, as well, got to remember, NAMM is just a few weeks away, so rumors and stuff are being ramped up. Kind of inside leaks are starting to happen. There are some things spreading around the grapevines. So if you have any questions or if you've seen anything or heard anything, let me know. I've heard a few things. As I've said to you, a lot of the leaks and information that has come out in the year, a lot of it I've been saying, I think we'll see that at NAMM, or we might see that at the end of January and so forth. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things still to come. I think next week we might get one more big release from Gibson. Hopefully it's not that Lizzie Kramer thing. I know some of you guys love that guitar. I just don't get it, man. It's for some reason it reminds me of the cartoon Rugrats, and I don't know why that. I just as soon as I saw it, I was like, is that like designed straight out of a Rugrats episode? Someone figure that out for me if you could. Mark said, I've never even heard of it. Is that a thing that isn't in the US? Oh God, I'd imagine it is in the US. The Mocha Master for sure. Scott says, has an iconic shape but not changed since the 60s or 50s. I'd imagine you've seen one in a bank or something. I think maybe in something like Mad Men, if you guys watch that show. It's a very good show. Back in the day, there's probably one floating around in one of the kitchens or something. Rob says, beautiful wife came home a few weeks ago with a really nice coffee maker from dumpster diving. The box was labeled broken. Seems someone couldn't figure out the controls and returned it to the store. Interesting interesting stuff there. Yeah, I don't, people do tend to not understand how to work tricky things. So I should go dumpster diving behind guitar stores more often. Although I'm pretty sure they wouldn't throw their guitars out, unfortunately. Booklip says, it says when I send a message, people will be able to see that I subscribe to this channel. I'm going to do it, whether it embarrasses me or Dave. Hey man, I'm not embarrassed to have you as a subscriber. I'm very happy to have all of you, all 7,500 and something of you, every single one of you. And I'm probably one of them. I'm probably subscriber number one. But yeah, I'm very happy to have all of you and not embarrassed at all. Thanks, Booglips. But yeah, other people can now see your comment publicly on YouTube. So just be aware. There is a downside to appearing on the live stream. Now the secret is out and it's not ever going back in, and that is not a euphemism. I wish there was more euphemisms on this live stream. We only have like 10 times more than any other show. Oh God, actually, it's reminded me. I was talking the other day with my friend about Steel Panther songs on karaoke and how people would react to them in different parts of the world. So anyway, next karaoke, it's all Steel Panther from me. Um, I just love them. Steel Panther are the best. My coffee maker is always broken first thing in the morning because I need coffee to be able to make coffee because I'm stupid. Yeah, coffee is necessary for all the things. T says I don't like the coffee stuff. Yeah, but you're all right because you got tea. You see, you still get your caffeine, so you'll be all right. It's the Barrys or Lions debate, really, isn't it? Rob says I save at least 1 cup of coffee from the day before so I can microwave it and drink while I make coffee. There's a smart man. See, just making it nice and easy the next morning for yourself. I should do that. Booklip says at exam time in university, I used to eat instant coffee with a spoon, made my teeth all brown, hit on a girl with my mouth like that once. She still said yes. That's an awesome story, and you eat instant coffee with a spoon. It doesn't taste good though. So I mean. Anyway, Clip says later at a party, I ate a Mentos and then drank some Coke while chatting, and it exploded out my guts into her face. That was the end of it. I mean, sir, I do have a new hero, and it is you. I don't know why. I just feel like you are the kind of person who would get me into a lot of trouble, which is great. I love that. This is how I got my reputation as a charmer. Yeah. Well, there you go. I can't beat that. I haven't got a better story than that. I love it. I think it's great. You should tell us more stories of your dating past, sir. Sounds like a great one. Rob says you scare me sometimes, Bug Lips. As he does us all, but in a fun way, in a fun, lovely way. However scared you may be, it's not nearly enough. Scott says, have you ever had a guitar pedal fail? If so, how? I had the battery in my Crybaby just run out, and it took me a lot longer than it should have to realize that the battery was no longer working. It's like, what the hell's wrong with this thing? And just kept, you know, trying it again and again. Nope. So yeah, so that's the only time I've ever had a pedal fail. I now use obviously a power thing. It's plugged in. It's not battery powered anymore. So there was that. I'm sure other people have other things go wrong with them, and also especially plastic pedals like say this one. Like you can break that if you're too rough with it. This. I mean, it's pretty sturdy, but yeah, this is completely just plastic, but it's a pretty sturdy old thing. But I don't imagine you can break it. Nothing shaking around inside so far, so we're all good for the moment on that one. What else have we got? Hello, Dave says, Grandpa Joe. Great to see you, Grandpa Joe. Hope you're well, man. Always great to see you in the chat. And yeah, thanks for dropping in to see us. Booklip says, I haven't had one fail all on its own without help. No. There we go. Ernie B's in the chat. Great to see you, Ernie. Hope you're well, man. Great to see you as well in the chat. Lots of folks coming back that I haven't spotted in the last few weeks. So that's great. I'm just checking as well that we have everything up and running here. I want to see, yeah, I'll reveal some stuff in a minute. In a bit, I want to see a few folks in the chat and then do the reveals for the afternoon, evening, day, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is. Welcome says, I had my guitar fail though. Maybe it just needs more motivation. I'm going to start yelling at it creatively like the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. I mean, that'd get you going. Yeah. You would definitely try not to fail in that scenario. If God wanted you to play an E, he'd miracle your ass into that tuning. Yes, indeed. That is the dialogue that drill sergeant would have. Was Full Metal Jacket Kubrick? Yes, it was. It was one of his best, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of all of his work, but yeah, Full Metal Jacket was quite good. Enjoy that one. Rob says, you will hurt the guitar's feelings, which will make its tone sad. Yeah, if you want to play blues, it's perfect. Yeah, it might shoot me in the bathroom. Uh, I shouldn't have read that out on YouTube, which would make for a cool news story. I don't know about the cool part, but it'd be an interesting. The world is weird. Glenn Bailey is here. Great to see you, Glenn. Hope you are well, my friend. Says hello to all my misfit guitar nerds. Um, I don't know about misfit part. You know, we all fit together here. This is where we belong. But great to see you, Glenn, as it always is, my friend. Hope you are doing well. No, we don't want to see anyone or any guitar get hurt. Indeed, indeed, no guitars getting hurt, please. That is, I mean, there's some people I don't like, but no, 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 no negativity, no violence to guitars or people, please. Scott says, I think Dad let me watch it when I was like 7, although I was old enough to know I was too young to watch it. I mean, I saw a lot of movies that I was too young to watch when I was a kid because, mostly because of my cousin, and VHS tapes would be shared around. Not those kind that you're thinking, but like I remember one guy in school, one kid got in trouble for letting everybody borrow Terminator 2, and like he was like a little blockbuster, just handing out the video. Someone would get it, not rent it. Someone would get a loan of it. The next day they'd bring it back. Someone else would take it. It was fun. Yeah, I didn't get to it before it was confiscated by the principal. Glenn says, and to you, Dave of Three Chords. Thank you, sir. Glenn, I do appreciate it. It's funny how many people call me Dave of Three Chords, actually. Who, people who maybe come to the channel once or whatever. Um, Even people who don't watch the channel call me that sometimes. It's weird. Buglip says, I haven't met a Kubrick film I didn't like. Even the 3 interminable hours of Barry Lyndon. I think you have to really be in a mood to watch a Kubrick film. Like they're not, a lot of them are not easy watching. So you've got to be in a serious mood for most of them. But yeah, I mean, his films are pretty interesting. Yeah, there's a couple I'm not super excited to watch again. Rob F says, let me see. My favorite was always Clockwork Orange. I think that was one I watched way too young. I've seen it a couple of times now. It's a very interesting movie, but it's very odd at the same time. When you're a 15-year-old and you're watching it, you're like, what's going on here? And I also have many theories about what Stanley Kubrick was trying to do with that movie, beyond just tell the initial story. But it's an interesting film. It's years since I've watched it. I might revisit it at some point, uh, if I ever get time. Fister Roboto says, the Booglips, you there, guitar? Let me see you G chord. um, I mean, you know, it's a good line. I like it. Let me see. William Forrest is here. Great to see you, William. Hope you're well, my friend. And Rob says, hello, Chord Dave. Good to be with you and the Chord Dave community this evening. Indeed, it's great to have you with us, Rob. Fister says, got me another hot chalky milk. Let's go. Hot chalky milks are great, man. I'm jealous. Even though I got a beer, I'm jealous. It's a hot chalky milk kind of night, to be honest. There you go. T says it's beer time. I'm guessing then that I'm about 26 minutes behind on the chat already. So hopefully I'll catch up by the end of the show. Richard Clark is here, says, put peppermint schnapps in Choco Milk. I mean, I love the recipes. We got it all covered on this channel. Guitars, weather, Scott Bogfoot's stuff. And by that, I mean his obsession with certain girl bands from the 90s. And just kidding, Scott. And the where to put peppermint schnapps, which is always appealing this time of year. Rabbit says, very nice, Fister. I'm about to switch from coffee to some sipping tequila. Yeah, you gotta have tequila. It makes you happy if you know the song. Scott Brower says, parts of the music playing right now reminds me of She's Got Issues by The Offspring. Is there music playing right now? There may be. No, I took it off. There's no music. I mean, maybe the earlier music. I don't know. But also, I don't get the music on this side, so I can't really remember what I put on it. So I should listen. And but yeah, I don't. So it could be a rip off of that song. I, I apologize. Larry D. Fox says, I made it all across the pond here in the States. Great to have you, Larry. Hope you're doing well, man. And DMAC is here as well. Great to have you, DMAC. And thanks so much for your comment on Patreon this week. Yeah, great to see you guys popping in. Brian Richards says, cheers from Holland. Great to have you from Holland. A lovely place. Haven't been there in a few years now, but I've enjoyed every trip I have been there. I was in, where was I? I've been to Groningen. Groningen, is it? Yeah, that was a while ago. And I've been to obviously Amsterdam, because everyone goes to Amsterdam various times. And I think I may have even been to somewhere like Utrecht in Holland. All beautiful places, and had a great time in all of them, except for Amsterdam. I broke my toe and could barely walk. I was a lot younger at that point. So there you go. Ben Allmark says, cheers, y'all. Great to see you, Ben. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Ernie B says, nice video today, Dave. Perfect. Great to hear from that, from you about that, Ernie. Thanks. I really do appreciate it. Did my best with the limited time I had. Like I said, I didn't put this on the YouTube description, but I did on Patreon. I think I did on Patreon. Yeah, I didn't have an awful lot of time to put something together this week, and I don't know when I'm going to have that time again in the next few weeks, but I'm going to do my best to put out better quality videos than this one. I didn't think it was particularly great myself, but I needed to put out something for you guys. So, and also so that YouTube wouldn't, like, you know, just push back the channel a little bit. Just make sure a video goes out at least once every 2 weeks. Hopefully at least a video every week for the rest for the next couple of months at least. But it was difficult to get time this week, so just pushed out the best one that I could, which I don't think was very good. But we'll get back to normal service, which is hopefully a little bit better in the next week or so. Of course, we've got Christmas coming up, so it'll be a bit of a break from the live streams as well. So we'll talk about that. I meant to mention it last week, but essentially what we'll do is, so we've got a stream next week. That should be fine. Then Christmas weekend. So December 23rd, we will do a live stream. Quite often, or in the last couple of years, we've taken that weekend off and then the following weekend. But what we'll do this year, we'll do that. So we've got 2 more after this, and then we'll take 2 weeks off doing the stream. So the week after Christmas and the week after New Year's, we will not be doing live streams. And then we'll be back for the first weekend of January. Is that right? Like, not the New Year's weekend, the weekend after New Year's. That's when we'll be back. So we got 2 more after this week, and then back in the first full weekend of January is when we're going to do it this year. So we'll be back just in time to ramp up some NAMM rumors and stuff, and then if anyone viewers going to NAMM, you can leak me all the information directly from the floor if you don't mind, because I'm not going. And it makes me sad, so I'm not going to talk about it. Phil Sakara is here. Great to see you, Phil. Hope you're well, man. Great to see you dropping into the chat with us. Rob says, Dave, you scared a number of us with the video. We were worried there wouldn't be a live stream this week. Yes, I did consider that, and I apologize to anyone who was scared about that. Yeah, I did cross my mind. Now that it's Saturday, I can't put it out until Sunday, because people will think there's no live stream. But then I do generally try to put out word that I'm not doing a live stream. So you guys can follow me on either the Facebook group. I always put it in there first, because that's the first place to put anything. On my Instagram as well, just at Chord Dave. And just join. If you follow me on any of those things, you'll see I always put up at least a couple of hours notice if there's not going to be a live stream. But yeah, those are the 2 places really to find out. I will put up a community post as well if there's not going to be a live stream. So those 3 places. So check the community tab at any time if you're not sure. But yeah, I do have, I did think about that, and only when it was already set to be published. So apologies for scaring you, but here we are, and it's still going. I mean, it's too late now. We started, so we may as well continue the live stream. Scott says, hey Dave, I kind of wish the Epiphone greeny headstock had a Gibson logo and said buy Epiphone in small script under it. I did see your video this week, Scott, because as I said, I've been behind on everything. But I saw your video talking about your Epiphone, Les Paul, and SG, and you were talking about the headstock and how much you like the clipped wing headstock. And I know we don't see eye to eye on that because I have hatred of the clipped wing headstock. I just don't like it, and that's, but you were like that. People should like it, and that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, that was one of the few videos I did actually catch up this week, and I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was quite good. But I think there's actually a little bit of something to that where they could have put something else. I mean, I think the Gibson headstock thing is a bit of a gimmick that they're gonna stick with for their more expensive guitars. I mean, they've pretty much said that that's what's going to happen. But yeah, having not maybe a Gibson headstock or Gibson logo, but yeah, they could have done something to differentiate it or something. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I think they might play with it a little bit. We might get an Epiphone inspired by Gibson kind of thing or something. I don't know, but that'll just lead to more people on Reverb saying that it's a Gibson Epiphone. So yeah, the way they do it in their secondhand sales ads. But yeah, I would agree with you. I think they should have done something. I really like the Kalamazoo headstock for Epiphones. I'm a bit conflicted about the Greenie and the Adam Jones one that's going to come out with the open book headstock. So while I like the Gibson headstock on Gibsons, and I like and I've no problem with Orville's or the Japanese Epiphones or anything like that that have the open book headstock. I think they've kind of set up a clear thing with using the Kalamazoo headstock again, which I really like. But yeah, I can understand why people want it. It wouldn't put me off buying the guitar for sure. But if they brought back the clipped wing headstock, I'd be less likely to buy Epiphones. I just don't like it, and I don't know if that can ever change. Maybe. Let me see. Anyways, great video though, Scott. I enjoyed it. Robert is here. Great to see you, Robert, all the way from Australia. Thanks for joining us on your Sunday morning. Great to see you and have you with us as it always is. I see somebody else pop in there. Ryan Byrne, there he is. Good to see you, Ryan. Hope all is good with you, man. And Brian Richard says, good evening, guitar friends. Indeed. Great to have you with us. Indeed, and guitar friends in general are always good to have. T says, I see your boys are top of the table. Will ye hold out for Christmas? T, that is going to be the way until the end of the season now. So thank you so much. Come on, we're going to batter Man United about 7 or 8-0 next week, and that's it. No one's going to catch us after that. And that's all I'm going to say about the all football thing. But yes, fingers crossed, because we haven't played well yet this season. We're still beating everybody, so I'm excited. I'll say nothing more. Let me see then. Ryan says, the Modern Lights seem pretty good. Haven't seen any in stores yet, though. I'm excited. I can't wait to try them out, to be honest, when I do get a chance. Whether I'm going to have to buy one to do that, though, I'm not sure. I was hoping to try all these things out at NAMM or, at least in California in January. And yes, I'm going to keep bringing it up because I'm quite sad about the fact I'm not going. I don't know. Things may change, but at the moment it's not. We're not going. So I'll just drink to drown my sorrows. Let me see. Ben Allmark says Gibson needed a low model guitar they could double their money on, and the Tribute wasn't it. Interesting take, Ben. Yeah, I would tend to lean on that. I think that is what I'm thinking also. They definitely, the Tributes were pretty good for the money. They were good value for the money. And that's why I think if you can pick one up now under $1,000, you're getting a good deal. So it would be worth picking one of those up. Use it as a platform. You can add whatever pickups and so forth. They do look cool already. And yeah, pretty awesome guitars. When it comes to doubling their money, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. The guitars, the lights, I think look great. I've always liked the Les Paul light concept, as I've said before. So I think I will like these. But yeah, there's nothing like holding the guitar to know. Everyone I know, and I know a few people who have played them so far, and they've been like, yeah, they're cool. So hopefully get my hands on one early next year and see what they actually feel like. And if they're cool, then, you know, I think they'll set up more things of that vein. If they sell well, I mean, they will have all kinds of other things like them come out in the future. Maybe we'll then see an SG Modern or something in that vein, where they can put out a cheap version with a Gibson headstock on it, and, you know, cheaper woods and so forth. We'll see what they do, though. Let me see. We got a super chat from somebody called Muddy H2O. Blue Wrench. Not sure what his deal is, because he's got a weird new profile picture, which weirdly doesn't look like him at all. I know that's kind of gaslighting us, I think, there. Chat. Les Paul flame top or plain top? What you say? David can't answer since he's always wrong. That's incorrect. So there you go. Muddy H2O with his $5 super chat wants to know, would you go for a Les Paul flame top or a plain top? And I think my answer would be yes. They do indeed have. It depends, because flame tops can be good flame tops, or like not as fancy looking, and then plain tops can, in the right plain top, can look great. So I would say, yeah, definitely those are two of the options you can get. I'm sure other people will have thoughts on them. Les Paul Studios are on sale in Canada. Tributes pricing hasn't budged yet. That's it. I mean, hopefully that you will see the tributes just getting blown out somewhere. I was kind of expecting $8.99 to be the price they'd be blown out everywhere, but that hasn't happened. But there is, I believe, very low stock, because they knew this was happening for like a year, so they didn't restock, and they do sell quite well. So, but we'll see. Hopefully places will sell out their stuff, but studios are a good deal if they're selling them too. Just the good guitars. Ryan Richard says, what are your thoughts on the Gibson Access Custom? I like them. I like the idea of them. I'm not I mean, nothing against them. I've never played one, but but I like the idea. They've got like the access joint and stuff is a good idea for Les Paul, and the other contours that they make are smart. That's why other guitar companies make them on most of their guitars. So yeah, it's a pretty cool guitar. Finding one that fits you, you know, in every way, like finishes and stuff like that, is the harder part, which is it shouldn't be too bad. Anyways, thanks for that question. Great question. Dewey7330 says, I said this on here a month ago. My Sweetwater rep told me about this. Hey Dewey, yeah, there's a lot of folks got that. I presume you're talking about the tributes. Yeah, 100%. I have seen other. I'm not gonna name names, but I did see other YouTubers say that the tributes are being revamped, and they're going to there's new tributes coming with flame taps. I saw one person basically say that they were going to be Les Paul standards, just called a tribute. They didn't say that, but what they said, they gave a rundown of all the specs, and it was like they're going to have binding, they're going to have flame taps, they're going to have fret nibs, they're going to have everything that basically a standard has, and that's just not true. They're not. At the minute, they're gone. But they may make a comeback, and that might be the whole thing. Keep them off the market for 2 years, bring them back. Who knows? Richard says they're going to make a tribute later and charge more, maybe an Epi tribute for about 2,000. Sounds like, Richard, you've got the inside scoop, so please email me all the details that you have. But yeah, lots of people have been saying, like, the information's out there. It's not secret. Like, Gibson are happy to tell anybody that about the tributes, by the way. So, because they want us all to buy modern lights. Scott Brower says the moderns, with their colors and general aesthetic, also compete better with Fender's offerings than did the tributes. The tributes were 100% based on people who wanted like an old school Les Paul. So yeah, I agree with you 100% there, Scott. Rob says, since the LP tributes are discontinued, why would a store discount them? They're already getting hard to find. Because what they do is Gibson don't want them in their lineup, so they want them sold, so that people who go into stores will only be offered the selection from the current range. So, or, you know, this happens. This is why when guitars get discontinued, they often get a price cut. massively like that. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen a lot. So that would be why. But again, this time around, like they knew they were discontinuing those like a year ago, and I think they just decided, look, they told people we're not restocking them. There's a new entry level guitar coming, and that's what it's been. So they've been building towards this by not restocking. So if you do, so there's a possibility, like for example, Sam Ash has them reduced by about $300 at the minute. Other places will follow suit if they have stock left. I think they're allowed to discount them now where they weren't before, or something like that. Let me see. Ryan says Les Paul Access is an amazing guitar. If you get the non-Floyd, even better. Yeah, I would also always agree with the non-Floyd version. That's just me being afraid of Floyd. I wish Gibson would use the neck cut on more of their lineup. Yeah, that's actually, a lot of people would agree with you there, Robin. I don't disagree with you. I think that'd be cool if they had them on different lineups. I mean, that's where something like a signature model can come in, where they can, somebody cool out there could be like, I think we could have this access heel joint on my signature, but so far that hasn't happened. Richard Clark says, Rob, if they may have to remove them from the inventory to make a SKU for the new Gibsons. Also, Gibson demands you order certain dollar amounts if you are a dealer. Yep, Gibson's quite strict with their dealers. Like, that's what I mean when I said about like they might be allowed to discount them. Basically, Gibson don't want you buying old models. They want you buying the new stuff that they put out so that it looks like those models are a success. So they're happy to sell off the old ones at a discount, that kind of thing, so that more people will come in, say it's start of 2024, and see only the new models. Maxter1878 says, if I was to get a Les Paul now, I'd quite fancy an Epiphone Modern. The Epiphone Moderns are cool guitars, yeah, absolutely. If you're going to look at an Epiphone Modern, I've said this pretty much every time the Epiphone Modern comes up. Just check out the Epiphone Muse collection as well. Those are pretty cool. They have the same electronics pretty much. I think the pickups, I'm not sure if they're the same, but the electronic switching and stuff like that is the same. And some nice colors in those as well. But the Epi Moderns are very cool. Yeah, definitely. Fisher says, does anyone think they'll bring the custom colors to the SG Special line? I don't think so. I think they will revamp, or they will put out a couple of different colors for SG Specials. So what have they got at the moment? At the moment, they've only got a cherry and a in terms of Gibson, they've only got a cherry and an ebony, I think. So do they still have the Pelham blue one? I think we'll see a couple of different colors maybe next year, the specials. But as you guys know, the SG Special is my favorite guitar. I love it. I think it's cool, so I really hope so. Fister, but so far I haven't heard of them doing anything like that. But it would be cool if they did. Right, let's see, where are we now? Dropped a whole load of chat in on top of me. Let me catch up. I can't believe these folks at YouTube believe this is the best way to run live streams. They probably don't. They're probably like, why are you doing it that way? Anyway, there we go. Thanks for all that you do for me, YouTube. Okay, there we go. I just got painful tooth fixed. It's great. Aside from the bill for it, insurance would have been nice to have. Well, I'm glad it got fixed for you, Ryan. And yeah, bills like that suck. Benny Larson's here. Great to see you, Benny. Hope you're well, man. For immediate EOR attention, tell them you think you were bit by a spider, electrocuted, or your neck is hot. Any three of those will work. Great information. Yeah, absolutely. Spider bites are the way to go, I think. Larry D. Fox says, I just bought an Epiphone ES339 Pelham Blue and Reverb for $446.09 US. Can't wait till it gets here. That's a fun one, Larry. Yeah, I hope that's awesome for you. I hope you enjoy it. Rob F says to Richard, the only reason it would make sense to me is if either a store had way too many and needed the space, or needed the funds to buy new guitars. I've said there's lots of reasons. Gibson pretty much control the pricing, so there is that. I love my Mocha Master, says Muddy, but of course he does. Of course he has one. F4C says, do you think with the high number of relatively nicely spec'd and built low-cost guitars we've seen introduced in the last few years is pressuring the larger manufacturers to improve their own games? Hey F4C, great to see you in the chat. Yeah, so it's definitely an issue for them, but like for example, Gibson are quite arrogant about smaller brands. They're like, if you're looking at our guitars, ironically, their stance is if you're looking at our guitars, you're not looking at those guitars. But they'll sue the crap out of those guitars if they make something a little bit too close. And the reason will be people will mistake your guitars for our guitars. Anyways, they yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There are great guitars for in budget ranges now, in smaller budget ranges than ever before. Like you say, low cost guitars. There's some fantastic stuff out there. The problem with them is, and I mean, there's a couple of problems with them, and it's only really small things, but because they're being made in such big batches, a lot of them come through and they have hit and miss QC issues, but for the most part, things like say Harley Benton, getting a lot of really great guitars come through, but then you hear a lot more about the bad ones because people are like, I paid $300 for this guitar and it's got like sharp fret ends. Like, yeah, you paid $300 for the guitar. What do you expect? But a lot of them come really well set up and in really good condition. The other side of it is with the I was going to say a really interesting point, and I just forgot what it was when I was talking about them. The price wise, yeah, like there's so much variance in the price on budget guitars that people are now buying those and expecting that they'll hold their value, but they invariably lose a lot of their value in terms of resale price and stuff very quickly. So so there is that. Whereas if you're buying an Epiphone, you're probably not going to get the full price back, but you'll get quite close to it. I always have. I've in fact made money on Epiphones when I've sold them quite a lot of the time. And Gibson's 90% of the time you're going to at least make your money back. Fenders and stuff as well. So it all just depends. But I think now there's so many great low cost guitars that yeah, it definitely does worry them. It puts pressure on them. You know, if I can buy a really good, let's just say, this is an imaginary brand, a Chord Dave guitar, and it's $1,000, but it's a better guitar than the Gibson for $2,000. I'm going to buy that cheaper one every single day of the week. And so they know that. So they do have to provide more variety, and hopefully the quality will be better, but it doesn't always work out that way. But yeah, it should lead to them picking up their game a lot more in the next few years because they are aware of it. So anyway, we got another super chat from Muddy HO says, chat, the Bonnibird kick ass, meh, it's okay, or hell no. Only middle-aged men who drink beer out of San Miguel glasses would like that crap. Hey, everyone likes the Bonnibird. What are you talking about? It's got something funky about it, and it's the right color. So, sir, just be aware, everyone loves the Bonnibird, and anyone who doesn't is entitled to do so. But also, leave the San Miguel glass alone, okay? It makes the San Miguel inside the glass taste better. That's what I believe, anyway. Yeah. Let me see, what else have we got in the chat? Lots of folks dropping in and saying hello and best wishes to Marcia, which is always nice to see. So we got Benny Larson as well. Great to see you, Benny. And Al Olson, great to see you, Al. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Says greetings to everybody. Instant coffee with a spoon. In college, we just used drugs. I mean, I feel like there's a better way than instant coffee on a spoon. Just eating it that way. Richard says, my buddy did that in college too. He washed down instant coffee with a drink of milk and went to class. That was breakfast. I mean, quite often I will just have coffee for breakfast, but I don't think I could do that, guys. I don't think I could. There you go. Yeah, these people are interesting. Buglips, of course, an interesting folk. We knew folk. He's an interesting folk. We knew that indeed. Um, a Muddy says he hopes Marsha feels better soon, which is a rare sign of empathy from the man. But there we go. Rock and Rob 2004 says, "What's up, people? Happy to be here and see everyone. Happy holidays. Great to see you, Rob. Hope you're well. And thanks for dropping in to see us yet again." Let me see. Ryan says, "I had an EHX green Russian muff and it kept getting extremely hot and stopped working. Returned it." I presume that was in response to the guitar pedal question and not any other kind of Russian muff. Glenn says, "With this talk about these high dollar Epiphone, this channel may be getting too high class for me." It's absolutely not, Glenn. It's definitely, we definitely are always going to be sinking down to your level. Uh, but no, it's just, all these Epiphones just get you views. And it's like, and there's not a whole lot going on that I found interesting from my minimal research this week. And with the short amount of time I had. So I was like, let's do that. I do think we'll have some interesting releases next week, because it's kind of the last week before the big holidays stop. And then nothing all that interesting will happen until towards the end of January, middle to end of January, obviously, because we got that big show where all the stuff will come out in around it. So anyways, Rob F says, "Only pedal I've had fail was a brand new one, sent it back to Sweetwater for replacement." Mind you, thought my oldest pedal, mind you though, my oldest pedal is only 2 years old. Yeah, I've as I said, except for the wah battery not being having any power left, that's the only thing I've had with them. So that they should be fine. But yeah, new ones always, at least you can send them back. Let me see. Glenn says, "I've got Boss pedals that are over 10 years old and they're still going strong." I should hope so. Unless you've been abusing them, they should continue to work. DMAX says, I've failed my pedals too often to count." There we go. I mean, me too. I was totally thinking of those kind of VHS. Buglips, no, like the action movies and stuff. I mean, I don't know what else you're talking about. Just everyone says that, not that kind of movie, and I don't know what that means. Probably. Um, Too high class is right. No, we can never be too high class for Glenn because we're always low class. But we love Glenn, so we don't want to lose him. Dunsee's Guitar World, great to see you, Dunsey. Hope you're doing well, man. Loving the videos lately. Says, "Evening, Dave, and all from Edinburgh. I had a pedal fail the other week mid-set. Forgot to change the battery. Had to do a nifty unplug mid-tune." There you go. Yeah. See, it's not just me who forgot to change the batteries at times. That makes me happy. Great to see you, Dunsies. Hope you're well, man. Yeah, absolutely love the videos lately. So keep on doing what you're doing, man. Ryan says, "Definitely high class. I actually comb my hair before I joined this." Me too, man. It's like 3 times. Uh, yeah, for sure. Get psyched up for the show. Glenn says, "Yes, DMAG, my pedals don't fail me. I failed them. I can hear them sometimes say, 'Not this freaking hack again.'" I mean, my neighbors say that out loud, like very loudly through my window. Uh, they don't. They speak Russian or something. Have at least 11-year-old M9 pedal, says Richard Clark. Still perfect and gets used every day. Gigged it for years as well. Interesting. Booklip says, "I ain't wearing a tie." Neither am I, sir. Never for this show. Best thing to do is dress like Jeremy Clarkson. That'll do. I don't actually mind. I mean, you guys don't want to know what Muddy H2O wears for the show. It's quite disturbing once you find out, but he just continues to do it. Marcia says, "I don't understand how heavy-footed one must be to break pedals unless they're doing thousands of gigs per year, where the pedals are also manhandled." A lot of stompers out there, Marcia. A lot of heavy stompers. Kicking into something and just slamming down on that pedal. I've seen it happen at many a gig. But then the bands I'm watching are just terrible. So Benny Larson says, "I once used one of those solid couplers with Boss pedals, killed a digital delay in less than 2 weeks. The other, a DS1, lasted longer, but eventually died." Dude, at least it lasts a little bit longer. That's good. Glenn Bailey says, my Ibanez Tube Screamer is still screaming after all these years. Glad to hear it. I mean, again, we're not talking euphemisms here, are we? We are talking about guitar pedals, I hope. See, I told you we weren't too high class. Says Benny, yes, those are solid couplers. Those solid couplers are bad news. They put too much stress in the jack and circuit boards. Indeed, actually, yeah, no, yeah. Now you've said that, I've seen many of people break them. Scott Brower says, Larry the Fox, I was thinking of following that exact 339. Gorgeous. Yeah, Pale and Blue 339 looks great for sure. Ryan Burns says, anybody try Harmony branded Chalky Milk? Amazing stuff. I'll let my dog have some. I say Chalky Milk. He comes running in. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, obviously, I don't think we have that one here, but it's a very undervalued thing here in Ireland, is Chalky Milk. So yeah, there are a few brands, but yeah, not as many as there should be. Buglips says, I don't like how my pedals snap when I step on the button. It feels like it wants to break. Indeed, indeed, they can indeed sound like that or feel like that. It's quite daunting sometimes. Cushman NYC says, hello peoples. Hello Cushman, great to see you, man. And yeah, glad to have you with us as always. Vincent Doyle's here as well. Great to see you, Vincent. Evening all, have to mention another lost icon this week, Shane McGowan. Remember going to the Pogues gig in Dublin back in the early 90s. There was more moshing than a Slayer gig. Great memories. Vincent, yeah, actually great moments to call it out and say, yeah, Shane McGowan, what a legend. The Pogues were amazing Irish band. I think probably traveled the whole world and everyone knows who they are. Obviously this time of year as well, Christmas wouldn't be the same without Fairy Tale of New York. Whether they change words or not, but yeah, it's sad, but what a legend. Somebody who definitely stamped their impression on the world, and yeah, absolute an icon. So yeah, best wishes to Shane's family and everybody, and he'll be missed, no doubt about it. Absolute icon. Lots of people. His funeral footage was absolutely incredible. Like the amount of people who turned up for that, very, very incredible stuff, scenes there. Yeah, definitely a sad week to lose somebody like that. Rob F says, very sad, loved the Pogues. Can't believe Shane died, says Ryan. Well, I mean, he was way overdue, but still sad. He wasn't a well man for the last few years, let's be honest there. Let me see, Cushman is there as well. Ryan says, I got a really bad lacquer problem with my wine red Les Paul Access Custom. Anyone else? No, but, well, I haven't got one. So, but I have heard, is Gibson Les Paul Access? Of course it is, because it's an Access Custom. Yeah, I've heard that there are problems with some lacquer from certain years. So it might be something that you can reach out to them about, to Gibson directly. Especially if you've filled in the warranty card and sent it back. But they definitely, I've seen a lot of online stuff about lacquer issues. So I haven't had it, but with my Gibson, but mine's really old. So, well, I say really old. It's the same age as me. So, and it's a Flying V. So, but interestingly, I was looking at a story this week about lacquer issues with recent Gibsons. So I don't think you're the only one, to be honest. Glenn Bailey says, Fairy Tale in New York, a Christmas song that I can listen to all year long. Shane will be missed and Christy McCall are together again. Yeah, I did see somebody on Twitter call out that Christy McCall didn't attend his funeral to sing. Dude, like, I mean, just if you're going to tweet something stupid, just look up the basic details first. Yeah, so people on Twitter need to do better. But we do have that you know, they're probably singing somewhere in the universe, wherever that may be to you or to me or whatever. It's a nice thought for sure. Fairy Tale in New York is such a great song. Yeah, can't help but sing along to that one when it comes on. Cushman says, rolled one up, have an adult beverage all set. Indeed, sir, why not? It sounds Saturday night, have the fun. Ryan says, I've listened to Fairy Tale probably 20 times the past couple of days. Pair of Brown Eyes, Waltzing Matilda, and of course, Dirty Old Town are great too. Dirty Old Town's a fantastic song as well. Rob says, how old is it, Ron Richard? Is it still under warranty? If so, Gibson will fix or replace it. Yeah, they have issues with their lacquer. Definitely, they will look into it. A book Clip says, "Yeah, Benny, all my pedals are true bypass and cheap, real cheap. Nothing wrong with cheap. Um, but surprising cheap, but surprisingly decent. That is me all around. Thanks for that. Vincent says Glenn Bailey was in Dublin City today, and all the buskers were playing that song. What a tune! Indeed. T says I was over in Groningen myself a few years back. Was over for the bike racing. Was a good week. I was quite young when I was there. I was only like 17 or 18. 18, and I was there for basketball competition. Was it? Yeah, and it was a good time. It looked like a great city. If you had some more independence, which I didn't have at the time. Scott just reminds everybody, if you're new here, you'll have to subscribe and then wait for 60 whole seconds before you can chat in the best chat on YouTube, and you can say hello to us then and that kind of thing, and it's all good. Ryan says, that's awesome, Vincent. I just booked my trip back to Dublin for June till August. Got cousin's wedding is in July, so gotta be there. Very good, Ryan. I hope it's a Chord Dave community get together like your cousin has invited us all, I believe. Glenn is very excited about it. So yeah, great stuff, Ryan, that you'll be back. And yeah, definitely remind us a little bit of that if you want to. Maybe we can do a Dublin get together if anyone wants to pop over to Dublin. That'd be good fun. Benny says, if they're true bypass in a metal housing, you don't worry about it. Yeah, cheap pedals can often go a long way. Indeed. Glenn Glenn says, our channel goth is getting married. It's there you go. You see, it happens. I don't even know what else to say about it. Rock and Rob says, yeah. Is it Ebby on the headstock or Greeny for that one? Dave, Greeny would have been an interesting one. Yeah, I like what Carl did. There's a guy in the community called Carl, and he bought a Harley Benton and he made a left-handed Greeny, and yeah, I gave him a shout out in one of the videos recently about Greeny, and he did a really great job. I saved himself a lot of money, and yeah, he put Greeny on the headstock, so that was a nice touch. I really liked what he did there. You guys should definitely check it out. It's up on the Facebook group as well if you want to check that out. Let me see. Rob says, I agree, Chord Dave. I really like the Epi open too far headstock. Book open too far headstock. I mean, look, it is more traditional than the clipped wing headstock, because of course they were using that for Epiphone in the 60s and earlier. So yeah, I think it's better. I just do. Scott says, could Gibson ever bring back the Orville brand? I mean, there's nothing stopping them really, to be honest, but it'd probably be very different because it was basically they had a deal with the Fujigen. Was it Fujigen? It was one of the companies in Japan to make Gibson style guitars under the Orville by Gibson brand. So it they didn't really have they didn't really manufacture themselves, but they do own, as far as I'm aware, the the company name or the brand, or whatever. The logo, not the logo, yeah, the branding. So yeah, they could absolutely bring it back, and I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. I think if they're going to go, which they are obviously, into higher end Epiphone stuff, they should make that its own thing, and they should have a different brand, or just differentiate it a lot, because I think it'll avoid the people giving out about the high end stuff as it is. But obviously, Epiphone has a brand recognition everywhere, whereas Orville, kind of, unless you're a guitar nerd, you probably don't know about Orville. So yeah, I think they should bring it back in some way, and then maybe ease the market back into like Orville's a cheap brand now, and Epiphone's a little bit more expensive brand. I wouldn't have a problem with that. And all three of them could have the same headstock. I wouldn't care. Cushman says, I picked up an Epiphone Les Paul Red Sparkle. It's an old one, plays and looks great. Sounds cool, man. Yeah, absolutely. The Red Sparkle is an interesting color, all right, for sure. That's a great question, Bugfoot. Says Ferrine. Yeah, but I mean, look, it is a great question. I think I think they should consider it for sure. I think it would be super cool. Was Orville a brand or a model? I thought it was the latter. It was a brand. So basically, as I said, they had a like a Japanese, what was it, like it was a sub deal, I suppose, where basically they made them. Initially, they were only going to be made for the Japanese market, but then they did make some guitars only for the Japanese market, and then they did others for the rest of the world. But yeah, they tend to go pretty much for close to Gibson price, USA pricing anyway. Um, but it was a brand all by itself. You can, if you search on Reverb for Orville, just put Orville guitar, Orville Les Paul, something like that, you'll see that there's lots of different ones, different variations, and different types as well. Because some of them, the ones that were meant for Japan had USA electronics, USA pickups, and were more high quality. And then the ones for everywhere else, they didn't. They had the same Epiphone pickups and stuff as their Chinese made stuff. But the woodworking side of it, with the lutherie, was done in their Japan factories. It's Fujigen. I'm pretty sure it's Fujigen who did them. Same people who made Squires in the 80s. Maybe still do, I don't know. Ryan said, I did try the red Lizzie Hale today. I loved it. Cool guitar. The Explorer, very nice guitar indeed. Yeah, I did. I just still wish they'd called it the Lizzie Bird, which they didn't. So, anyways, Cushman, how old is it? Part of a series for the Sparkle red one? Probably early 2000s. Brian says Orville was the founder of Gibson. He was indeed Orville Gibson. Yeah. Let me see. Rock and Rob says it was a brand, Orville by Gibson from Japan. Indeed, it's black. It's a black, white, or gold top for me. I know Dave agrees. I like the gold tops, Glenn. Yeah, absolutely. You should definitely go for gold top out of those three choices. But for the others, no, no, no. Scott says I saw Orville as a side brand. Was Firebrand a brand or a model would be another question I'd have. Firebrand was just a model. Yeah, it was basically the Gibson logo was literally fire branded onto the headstock, or like branded onto it rather than inlaid or anything like that. Those were just models, yeah. But the Orville was its own brand of budget Gibsons or different Gibsons. Let me see what else we got. Cushman says plain top instead of flame top. Good stuff. Buglip says I wouldn't say no to either, but if I had a choice, it'd be flame top. A nice flame top would be better. See, you can find really nice plain tops that you would be like, that's nicer than that not so great flame top. So it's hard to say without seeing the two guitars. Ryan says flame top for a burst, but all sorts of combinations work, like trans red or black. Possibly trans red, I'd say more so. Flame currently in the lead, I think. Possibly. Let me see. Rob F says, agree, Buglips. I'm a sucker for cherry bursts. Cherry bursts, a nice finish, yeah. Clip wing, here in the States, we call them bat wings, like Batman throws at the bad guys. I mean, the official Epiphone called them the clipped wing headstock because they clip the top off the wing of the thing. But yeah, I mean, hey, call them bat wings as well. That does work. But there is a batwing headstock. There is a specific batwing headstock. That's why I wouldn't call it that, because yeah, they have their own thing. It's the one that looks like a batwing. So yeah, we've done a couple of videos with guitars with the batwing headstock on it. Actually, maybe I'll just pull it up to show you, just to make sure, because I'll say something and it might not come across. Head stock. There we go. Let me get a picture of it. That's a good picture of it. This is a better picture of it. And we'll get that. So yeah. So they have the standard Epiphone one that they use for until 2020 was the clipped wing headstock. Whereas now I should be able to upload this picture to the screen, and we call it image 4, and we go looking for it, and then we show you it. No, it's not in downloads, it's in this one. All right, let's go. There we go. So that's your batwing headstock. That's officially called batwing headstock. And then you know what the old Epiphone headstock looks like. So that's called the other one. The other Epiphone headstock is the clipped wing headstock. And then you got the new one, which is the Kalamazoo headstock, as the official title. But yeah, that's the Batwing. And it's nice. I like that one. I do like that one a lot. A lot of people dig it. And so I was on a couple of guitars recently. The was it the Crestwood they brought back, or it was one of those 150th anniversary ones that they did? They brought it back on that. So there you go, Larry. Hope that clears that one up. Just about which one I was talking about. Everything is flamed. I'd like to see more affordable quilts and maybe Gibson do burls. Yeah, it always bugs me. Is like, why are nicer colors more expensive? It's just paint at the end of the day. But and like different color paints are usually not that much more expensive. But I guess they have the reasons. It's more difficult to do or whatever. But yeah, it'd be nice if they did that, Scott, to be honest. But I won't hold my breath for it. Richard says, did you guys see the top of the blue burst they gave Landon? Incredible. Haven't seen it yet. No, have not. But I'm sure I will see it soon. And now I'll be looking out for it. Ryan says, I plan to get a tribute before they clear them out. Great value. I mean, if you can get one for around about $1,000, that is kick ass. And I would agree, definitely worth picking up. Because yeah, they're good Les Pauls. Anyways, loads of comments came in on top of me as I said that. So where are we? There we go. Glenn says, I'll vote Flame, but it has to be at least AAA. I mean, AAA is not what it used to be, but I would agree with you. Like discounted cars new at dealerships. I mean, possibly. What are your thoughts about amps will disappear? All I can say is Steel Panther don't use amps anymore. They use digital thingies. And appears the Edge from U2 is as well. So, but there also seems to be a resurgence of amps in the last few months. So I don't know. I think some people will prefer to just to go the route of using Sims and different things. The better they get, the more they're going to get used. Like Steel Panther put on a good show without any actual amps. U2 were doing that in Vegas as well. So, you know, it's possible that they're not necessarily needed. I think for a lot of guitar players, they're becoming less of a necessity because things like this, for plugging your headphones in or plugging into your computer and playing through GarageBand or whatever else you can play through. I think there's definitely an awful lot of very good options. So yeah, I don't think amps will ever disappear, but it will become a smaller market, I think, in the next few years. At some point, let me see, somebody just sent me something. No worries, all good. CME currently has a couple green lemon R8s with 59 Carmelita neck carve for 34% off. I'm tempted, says Muddy H2O, but you know, he says that a lot, so don't worry about it. He won't buy one. I sent him a lovely Flying V the other day, like pictures of one where he could buy it and all that sort of stuff, and it's still there. So he won't buy it. I dare him to buy that guitar, and he won't. I guarantee it. Playing with a burst, says Benny to Muddy H2O for his question. So there you go. Somebody going for a plane top. I think plane tops are nice, but they still have to be good. Still have to look good. So yeah, but I do like a flame top. Who's in charge of the A flame rating system? I don't know. Some intern at Gibson. Probably. Muddy H2O says, not me, Scott. I flame everyone equally. Yeah, he does. Not everyone equally. Some of us get more flame than others, but there you go. It's fine. Let's just pretend it's equal. Glenn says, there's a guy who grades the tops, but they are graded again after cutting and sanding, since they can change how the grain of wood looks. Indeed it does. Scott says, Koa SG, has that been done? No, I don't think so. Yeah, not that I've seen anyway. I don't know if people would buy that. They might, especially if they already have the Les Paul. Andrew Collins here. Great to see Andrew. Says, you going to NAMM in January? No, sir. I wish it was. At the minute, no. At the minute, no. It may change. It's unlikely to change. Yeah, just personal circumstances not going to allow it this year. Was all ready to go. It was ready to book it. It was all going, and yeah, just realization that can't go to NAMM this year. Family reasons just in the way, and that's it's got to be more important than going to NAMM, unfortunately. So would love to go. I'm disappointed I'm not going to get to go, but hopefully 2025, maybe even summer NAMM, but I don't. It's not as exciting to me. But I think yeah, I will hopefully be able to go in 2025. Disappointed because 24 was fun, and I think it was like a good practice run for a good NAMM in January. So yeah, I wish I could go. Maybe, but very unlikely. And I won't know until like 2 weeks beforehand. So we'll see. Right now, though, nope. I'll be reacting to everything online, like all the others who don't go. Benny Larson says, I like the look of the Gibby 50s LP with P90s, Muddy. Yeah, absolutely. That's a nice looking. Anything with P90s looks cool, I think, because it also just looks a little bit different than what you see most of the time. Glenn says, I could grade them. Yes, that's a flame, and that's a better flame. Glenn, I think you should apply for the job. You should write Mark Agnesi personally a letter and be like, dude, I'm good at knowing what's flamey and what's not flamey. Rob says, P90s rock, Benny. Been playing my Mustang P90 all week long. P90s are awesome. Glenn Bailey says, a Koa SG sounds interesting. It sounds heavy too, says Scott. Indeed, it does. Benny says, the player series to Rob. And let me see. Rob says, a Bullet Mustang, custom pickguard, and Dylan's P90s. Anyways, Muddy says, Benny agreed. I love that look as well. See, Muddy and I do agree sometimes. It's not very often. Kent Poodles for me says PRS SEs may be putting the pressure on QC wise. PRS SEs are great. I love them. I think they're definitely putting pressure on other guitar folks because yeah, they have some very high quality stuff coming out. And yeah, I'm sure everyone knows at this point that they do a QC check in the US. So if you're in the US, this only applies to guitars that are sold in the US, by the way. So PRS SE guitars all go to PRS first before they go anywhere else, and they get a QC check, and then they're sent to the distributors. I believe they don't do that to guitars, say, coming to Europe or other parts of the world, but they're still pretty strong QC-wise from my experience. Let me see. Greg Stimple says, I bought a made in Japan Telecaster Sparkle Silver. Nice Telecaster. Sounds great, Greg. Absolutely, man. Sounds like a really nice one. Rob says, I really want a Japanese Fender Strat one day. I want to go to the Tokyo Fender store someday. So if anyone wants to, sponsor that trip, that'd be great. Any companies out there, Fender, for example, would be a great one. Mar says, I'm loving that we have 50 people here right now. Hit the thumbs up so we can get more people in here. That's only putting pressure on me, Marsh. I didn't know there's 50 people here. That may be the most people we've ever had in the stream. I'm not sure, but you're all welcome. Thanks for joining us. It's super cool to have you all here. The system occasionally works, very rarely, but we do appreciate it. Ben Larson says, I've been contemplating exactly that mod. One of them, Rob. How much did you have to do on it? It's a great question. Glenn says, guitar collectors need to be careful when old guys like me pass the market, may drop out like Harley Davidson did there in the States. You could pick up a Harley for a fraction of what they were going for. There's new kids are always going to pick up the guitar. I don't believe the guitar's ever going to die because people will always find Zeppelin and be like, I want to do that. I do believe there's certain albums that will just always drag kids into playing guitars. Zeppelin, anything by Zeppelin, well, not anything by Zeppelin, but Zeppelin 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of the Beatles catalog as well. A lot of AC/DC is gonna make it a good, not any Guns N' Roses, because Chinese Democracy does exist, but anyone who listens to Appetite is going to be like, how did they do that? Let's see how they do that and look up the videos and stuff. So guitars are never going to die, Glenn. And Harley Davidson's are cool and all, but you know, they're just, I don't know, they haven't evolved as much. Guitar doesn't need to evolve, I don't think. Um, Richard says, Muddy has a wrench. They told me monkeys could use tools. Yes, he does. I mean, the reason Muddy has a wrench is because he basically is the financial support for the channel. He pumps in so much money just because he loves us. So I had to give him a wrench just for the crack. Uh, but yeah, he said if I didn't give him the wrench that he would never be on the live stream again. And he threatened me in various other ways. Mar says, yeah, wait a sec. Muddy got a wrench. You gave Dave the old chokehold, didn't you? He threatened me. They said, actually, it was last week when you and Glenn were giving him shit. He was like, give me a wrench now or else. Glenn says, watch out, Richard. I was messing with Muddy last week and he tattled to Dave on me. But you still didn't get a timeout, Glenn. Not yet, anyway. But Muddy has the power now. So you better not mess with him anymore. Rob F says, not a lot. There's a gentleman on eBay who makes a custom Squire Mustang pickguards, ordered a wire harness and the pickups an hour later or so it was done. There you go. Very cool. Indeed. Let me see. This is why people need a power supply. I have no idea why anyone would take a chance on batteries without a proper indicator to help you know how much power is left. Because, Marsha, you just do, okay? Because you buy something and you're like, I'm going to play this. This is going to be fun. And then you keep forgetting every time you go to the store to buy the power supply. All right. You just forget. So I'm a very forgetful person. Like I forgot to upload today's video yesterday, like I was supposed to. So, you know, these things happen. Normally I upload it when I upload to Patreon first because that has to be done. And then I upload it straight away to YouTube. But I forgot because, as I said, things have been so busy. I was like, I'll remember to upload it to YouTube tomorrow. Yep, that didn't work. Muddy says, I have a wrench because Marsha and Glenn were being super big poopy pants, calling me bad names. Thankfully, the wrench has changed nothing. Also, he's a crybaby, so there you go. What do you think about cheap TC electronic pedals? I think all cheap pedals are great because I don't know a whole lot about pedals. I just like messing around with them, the ones that I do have. Like these Behringer ones. This one's here because I was fecking around with it the other day. But actually it's been there for a couple of weeks now. But these are like 20, 30 bucks each, euros. And yeah, I mean, if this breaks, I don't mind. It's very cheap, but I have a lot of fun with it. This one's a super fuzz. And I got 4 or 5 of them over there. But yeah, I think all cheap pedals are great. I wouldn't ever expect those to last a long, long time. Or to be the greatest pedals in the world, but they do what everything that I need to do. It's for jamming around here and just enjoying myself. Glenn says, I have a 1981 Harley in my shed now that won't bring what a 2015 is going for the market, just dropped out. And you don't see too many young players playing vintage gear because they can't afford it. Honestly, the vintage gear market is ridiculously crazy at the minute. But they will, and if they could, they will pick it up. That's my feelings on it, my thoughts. I don't know if you guys feel differently, but I do feel like they will pick them up. I don't think the bottom's ever going to fall out of the guitar vintage market because they're now seen as collectible things and all that sort of stuff, worth money. So investments, that's the word I was looking for. Marcia says, who remembers those Duracells that had a built-in indicator on the battery if you squeezed it? I do. Yeah, those are the ones to get. Benny, I did have to do 5 minutes or so of Dremel work to widen the swimming pool route for the P90 and the switch route for the new Switchcraft toggle. Oh, there you go. It's not too bad. That was only 5 minutes. It's all good. Muddy says, Marcia, FYI, Dave doesn't call it his Duracell anymore. I don't know where you're going with that one, but I'm just going to leave it there. By the way, guys, I did want to mention this just in case you didn't know. So you guys have been asking me to do a rolling rock, not a rocky road, a rolling rock line of merch. And now we have it. This is the best I could do. I got as close as I could to it. 3-chord Dave does not fit into the same space as Rolling Rock does in the same way, so it does look a little bit off, but that's what we got. It's got premium content and extra cool. as other things that are written there. So the links are in the description for the store where you can pick up your 3-Chord Dave Rolling Rock t-shirt. This is a limited edition. It's going to run until New Year's Day, maybe. So it's short time. If you do want to pick one up in the next 3 weeks. And then it's gone forever. Just like the GH specials, they never came back. Well, they did for a short time, but they're never coming back again. So if you want to pick up a Rolling Rock 3-Chord Dave t-shirt, then support the channel and support me. And, if like 10,000 of you buy them, then I will be able to buy, I don't know, like a vintage pickguard or something. So yeah, there they are. That's what it looks like. Click the links. There's all kinds of different t-shirt styles and hoodies and stuff, and I think mugs. If you don't want to buy one of those, though, you can buy the Grand Theft Auto inspired cup like this. And then there's even this one. It's a different t-shirt style. So you can check those out. The links are in the description. And thanks for letting me plug my merch. Also, I've mentioned it several times. There's a Patreon. You can get all the videos early, sometimes up to 2 days early if Dave forgets to upload it to YouTube. So feel free to check that out. And all the stuff, all the cool people on the channel are on the Patreon as well. So check that out. Penny says it's compromising photos he's got, Marcia. Maybe you can borrow them. Listen, Muddy told me he'd never show anyone those photos, and I also don't know how he got his hands on them. Glenn says, I remember that Marcia, I squeezed them so much they ran out of charge. It's the little things that occupy my mind. I don't know how you did that, Glenn, but all right. Rob F says, important rule of life, never let anyone get a digital image of your face. Oops. And yeah, I mean, I'm on YouTube. I can't help it now. There's like, I don't know, 400 videos. I'm screwed. There you go. Thanks, Rob. You could have told me earlier in life, man. Now it's too late. Larry says, if you have coffee beans and don't have time to brew, you can pop them in your mouth and chew them. I thought it would taste bad, but it actually less bitter than coffee. Caffeine rush. Yes. There you go. Nice life hack, Larry. I did not know that. So maybe I will try that one of the days this week. We'll find out what happens. Vincent says, sounds like you have a lot of battery operated devices. Too much. I'm not going to touch that I'm just going to move it on. Money says to Glenn, sorry to hear that, Glenn. Unfortunately for you, they have pills for that nowadays. Again, rolling on. I am unreasonably angry that I can't buy chocolate Fredo bars here. I mean, you would just get, if you could, you'd just get angry about the price of them rising all the time. And that's what happens. Oh, Muddy H2O, so you cried like a baby after me and Glenn called you names and then gave Dave a chokehold while holding compromising pics. Now I get it. Listen, first of all, let's just point this out, right? If Muddy H2O attempted to put a chokehold on me, I would kick his ass, all right? So that's not what happened. But again, those photos, I don't know how he got them. Benny says, in that case, most of us are effed, Rob. I am for sure. Rob says to Larry, well, you can also suck on the coffee bean like it's hard candy. Muddy's got a wrench because he knows Dave's kryptonite is paprika. How did you know that? It's pretty weird. All around here. It's all just pretty weird. Marcia says, Vincent, precisely the opposite because I believe in plugs. I'm gonna move on again because that's just there's a lot of. Anyways, Glenn says those pretty blue pills, Muddy. Again, rolling on. Muddy says, Marcia, as the legendary John Kreese said, no mercy. And Richard Clark says, if you get a pic of your face on the web, it steals your soul, and then it goes in an AI OnlyFans naked person. Yeah, that's what it is. It's an AI person. I've always loved chocolate covered coffee beans. Yum. There you go. Yeah, I've had them. That's true. Rob says, I learned that lesson in college when my face ended up as a turret on an X-Tank. See, this is why people shouldn't go to college. I'm just kidding. You should always go to college. I'll just stay in college forever. I have no doubt you'd waterboard Dave in a heartbeat, Money. I mean, he may try. Somehow a beardless David was photoshopped onto my bottle of multi-purpose cleaner. The internet is wild. Be careful out there, folks. Um, this is why I'm so scared of of Muddy. He's a whiz with the old Photoshop. Uh, I actually think that is he's probably telling the truth with that, to be honest. So there you go. Goth Cousin is too highbrow for this group, but I want to do a bit of a tour one day and buy a nice guitar. Could make for a good episode. Absolutely, man. If I'm here when you're here, which it sounds like you're gonna be here for a while, so I'm sure that will happen. We should try and set that up. That'll be cool. I can bring you to. I'm sure you'll be able to see it anyway, but we could bring you to my local guitar store and you can see how terrible it is, and then you can tell everybody else that I'm not exaggerating. Um, Rob says, Buddy HO, what do you mean that everything I see in the internet isn't real? Yeah, I'm just not gonna say anything about that. Benny says, I once Googled my own band and got a bunch of links claiming to have XXX videos of us. We had a really, I'm saying it that way because YouTube won't then pick up on it. We had a pretty good laugh at that. I'm fairly sure it was clickbait or our drummer. It's always the drummer, man. It's always the drummer. Glenn says, give a man a guitar, he can make himself. And others happy. Give a man a wrench, he just puts people in a timeout. And not everybody with a guitar makes people happy. Not even themselves. So, it can happen. It can happen. Can't trust a drummer's sense of humor. Keith Moon thought that. Exactly, Rob. Exactly. Amar says, "Oh my God, that's hilarious, Benny." Yeah, usually the drummer. Yes, I can. I could tell you stories about people, but I won't. What Google searches found on people, and it wasn't that those people, but it's pretty fun. There are also acoustic Orvals too. Yes, was Fujigen, says Marcia. I knew it was. It's just always been in my head that it was. I mean, ask me to name a different one of the companies in Japan, and I wouldn't be able to tell you. What have I thought about it? Is Muddy putting Glenn in timeout? Poor Glenn always gets put in timeout around here, usually by Dave. Accidentally. That only happened once. But no, as far as I'm aware, Glenn is not in timeout at the moment. Let me see. Rob says, Benny Larson, old network multiplayer game on Unix workstations in the 90s. You could mod a source code and recompile. Friend put my face on a tank. My eyes would point where the turret went. Well, there you go. That sounds like a good college experience. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let me see. Where else was I? Because, yeah, lots of dropped comments. You have to give to Pete as a guitar player. He held the songs together. You had End Whistle and Moon all over the place. What else do you do when your drummer and bass player are everywhere but home? I mean, they're one of my favorite bands. The Who, I love them. I think it wouldn't have been the same if those guys weren't as they were. Let's put it that way. But yeah, absolutely. Pete knew what he was doing back then. But what a character. AKW 1987 says, I've got an Orville Gold Top, fantastic guitars, Gibson quality for a fraction of the price if you buy from Japan. Awesome, man. Yeah, look, I've always wanted to add an Orville to my collection for the novelty effect as well. So I think that's pretty cool. I would like to join you in the Orville Gold Top Club at some point. Let me see then. What else we got? Buglips says, you pay more because tone comes from the paint. Possibly. Possibly using the tone paint on this model, but not on the cheaper ones. Al says, Rob F, were you a Unix programmer? I did some Unix coding back in the 80s. Interesting stuff too. I've looked at lots of Orvals. I keep wondering if the acoustics are also made at Fujigen 2. I'm not quite sure of that, to be honest. Muddy H2O says Batwing looks like a G&L headstock. Someone call Agnesi. Time to sue Leo. might be a bit late for that, but they would probably look into it if they could. Ryan says, I don't like burls. I don't think burls look good on larger surfaces, but it can be nice for binding or inlays, but not on a full body. I'm not a huge fan of burls, to be honest. Marsh says, I'm cool with burls. By the way, autocorrect wanted to change that to burlesque. Sure, autocorrect. Autocorrect is trained by what you type in. usually yourself. So it doesn't just make up these corrections. So it sounds like you've been looking up burlesque an awful lot, and that's fine. That's the kind of lowbrow thing that we that we enjoy on this channel. According to Glenn, we're, that's how we are. Rob says, Al, yes, helped write a billing system in C++, also system admin, storage, computer stuff. There we go. That's all I'm going to say about that. Larry says, clip corners of the headstock like my 98 Studio. Yeah, I don't like them, but with pinstripe around the edge, like my custom or my Sheraton, look good, but just plain no. Hey, I get you, man. That sounds, I think that's pretty interesting take on it. Yeah, for sure. I don't disagree with you. Just as a whole, I'm not a fan of that particular headstock. Benny says, some people actually claim black guitars sound brighter. Some people be crazy. Glenn says, Marsha, this is highbrow room now. We can't use words like burlesque and Epiphone in the same room. Yes, you can, absolutely. In fact, those two words actually mean the same thing. Al says, Rob, did you work at AT&T? I was working there. So there you go. We're going to find out some stuff soon. Muddy says, Chord Dave is the only burly thing I like. Thanks, sir. Glenn says Dave does have that certain rugged mountain man look, or maybe he just needs a shave. I don't know. Do I? I don't think I have enough grown in yet just to shave, but we'll see. I've been threatened by some people that if I ever shave, I will be in trouble. So I don't know what to do. I kind of want to shave, particularly when my beard wakes me up. That's a long story. But he says, I'm in charge of the A rating system. Scott Bogfoot, personally, I'm 6A. There we go. There we go. I'm in charge of flame ratings for all San Francisco parades. That's going to be a tough job. Marcia says, I'm thinking Dave is more brawny than burly, like a dude on the paper towels. I don't know what that is, but I presume it's a compliment. I'm just going to assume it is. Let's just, what's the difference? Who knows? I don't know. I'm going to look that up as soon as the show's over. Muddy says to Glenn, if you consider bubble baths lined with heart-shaped candles as rugged mountain terrain, then maybe. Yeah, that's my Sunday routine. That would be something. Yeah, I keep seeing comments disappearing before I get a chance to read them. I'm not doing that, so it's and it would tell me who's deleting them. So unless they're disappearing because people themselves are deleting their comments or retracting them or whatever, because it would tell me Scott or Muddy's doing it, and I don't see that so far. Muddy says, Marcia, he came on the multi-clean and paper towels. What? He comes on the multi-cleaned and the paper towels. I'm not. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. I just no. I think our record was 58ish. Why aren't the mods keeping stats? Slackers. They are slackers. God damn it. YouTube will tell me at the end of the stream. Or maybe I can find out within the stream. No, I can't. Oh, actually, yes, I can. 55 today has been our highest. But yeah, each one I can go in and see if I want to. But it's all good. But hey, thanks so much to everyone who's joined us. It's super cool. Rock and Rob 2004 says, I've had my Fender Strats since the early 80s. I think it's better than my USA or made in Mexico ones. Just my opinion. Great price. P.S. I love my P90 axes. Those pups kick arse. They do. I'm a big fan of P90s. I think they're the best ones. I get why some people don't like them. The hum, for example, being the main thing. They're being too damn loud. As Slash put it, and when he did a thing with someone for Gibson, and it was like, yeah, he's like, I love P90s, but for playing them live, they're too loud. So I think they're great pickups. I think they're my favorites. Guitars won't die, but the price will. No, Glenn, won't. Don't you listen to the Gibson meetings that we have? They say, look, these prices are going to go up forever, and we're just going to keep charging more money, and that way, old guitars will cost more money too. That's what they say, I think. Mark says, oh, so Muddy bought his way in like all politicians. I mean, in terms of super chats, a lot of the time, Muddy is the only person who does super chats. each week. So, we can't hide that fact. But yeah, so he's gotten a little bit of favorable treatment because of that, for sure. But also, he asked me nicely. So I was like, okay. Rob F, it was cool. I've given up on stadium venues though. Small clubs are the only things I'll go to now. Um, I've never been to a gig in a stadium, so I might go once. There's rumors that AC/DC are going to play in Dublin next year, and if they do, I will buy a ticket, even though it clearly won't be the greatest ever of all time AC/DC, but it'll still be fine. Um, Marsha Muddy says, Marsha, "Pfft, Dave pays me." I do. That's a secret arrangement, sir. Um, Rob F says they're awesome. They are awesome, Benny. Very articulate, both clean and dirty. Check out Phil McKnight's review of them. Richard Clark says, yes, how are Dylan's P90s? Again, hopefully not a euphemism, and just meaning the pickup. Ryan says, the My Lovely Horse brand is for sale, Dave. Also coming up soon. The world's longest delay, from what I understand. Pedal is on the way. Interesting stuff. Well, we'll look into it. We might look into it. Glenn says, I have the Jo Bantam Jackman 2. It's a great little amp. I haven't tried a pedal from them yet. They have good reviews. Richard Clark says, that shirt is awesome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And Rob F says, very nice shirt, Dave. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it, man. Benny Larson says, I'll check it out, Rob. Indeed. Cushman says, I love that shirt. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it. They make amazing gifts, if I do say so myself. But I'm not 100% sure that they would be delivered by Christmas time. You would need to order them this weekend, I think, if you were waiting on a Christmas delivery of them. So to guarantee it, depends on where you are and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, thank you so much for the positive feedback, guys. That does mean a lot, because it took me a little bit longer than usual to get that one acceptable. Mar said, when did the GH come back? Boy, I missed that. I'm wearing mine now. That one, I mean, it came back for like 2 weeks at one point. It was a while ago, though. It was a long while ago, because I've deleted the files since. So Al says, my GH t-shirt wore out. I didn't know of the reissue. Would have bought one. It was a very short, like, it was a long time ago, and it wasn't long after the initial run. So yeah, it was like a month later, is when it was. So I put them back up, but they're gone now, probably forever. I think they are gone forever. I don't know. You guys pressure me into doing lots of things, so Muddy does anyway. So let me see, where are we now? Let's get the shirt stuff. There we go. The older vintage lemon drops to fraction of the price of the Epiphone models. You should try one out, Dave. For the Orville's, absolutely I would. Yeah, if I can get myself. I have a couple, or I've had a couple on my Reverb wish list for a while. Just getting the right one, because I know they're going to be cool. I'm going to want to keep it. So I want to make sure I get one that I really want. Benny says, I never got a GH special. I was holding out for the Flying V version. I just stopped. I was getting in trouble with those ones. Glenn says, thanks for another good chat, Dave. Thanks, Glenn. I appreciate it, man. Well, I think Dave needs a timeout. Poor Dave. Yeah, sometimes I feel attacked. FRC said, just bought a new made in July 23 Epiphone Les Paul Custom limited edition with P90s, high gloss black beauty binding and inlays. I cannot find any information or full specs on this guitar. I think there was did you buy it in a Guitar Center? Because I've seen people say that there's a Guitar Center exclusive 54 reissue Epiphone Les Paul Custom. So it could be that. So check out Guitar Center. They might be. I'm pretty sure it's a Guitar Center exclusive, because I've seen people post them online places. So that's probably what it is. Oh, I see. You say, yeah, where did you buy it? And you got it at Guitar Center. Burlesque is much more fun, says Ryan. There you go. FRC says they don't seem to know much. Not the first person who's told me that about Guitar Center. DMAX says, could be a special run for Guitar Center. I've seen some Gibson SGs with unique colors only available through Guitar Center. Must be special. Yeah, let me just see. I'm pretty sure it's a 54 reissue that you've got then, because it's a fairly recent one. Epiphone. Let's pull custom 54 Guitar Center. Yes, there's. I can't find it off the top. With those details, I have to put the proper thing. I mean, I think that's what you're looking at. I think it's. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Is this it? No, that is not a black guitar. So, there you go. Guitar Center, search their stuff, and they don't know what they got. But yeah, it's pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Oh, actually, is this it? Is a 2023? No, because that's a Gibson that costs $7,000. Anyway, search their website because I'm pretty sure it's a special run that they did earlier this year. I'm pretty sure it's a 54 reissue, but it could be 55. It could be something else, but I'm 90% sure that's what it is. I've seen them floating around. People saying they're Guitar Center special editions. But yeah, hopefully you're enjoying that. It sounds like a cool one. Let me see. Maybe someone here does know actually, and I said it already. It says Pro Booker Pups CTS pots, Grover machine heads, mahogany body, ebony fretboard. I mean that sounds decent, Glenn. What are you talking about? Your maybe it's a different comment there. Larry says, shaved off my beard. My friends couldn't look at me. Looked like my grandmother. I grew it back. Never again. Yeah, I mean, there's always that. And also, I've had the beard when I shaved my head. So now I'm going to look very weird if I do shave it off at some point. I don't intend to shave it completely. Just take this long part off. So it'll be like, I'll just look like this. Just without, I mean, I won't walk around like this. But yeah, just the old, and just like straighten up this bit and all that sort of stuff. You know, be less scruffy is what I'm looking at some point. We'll see how it goes. Ryan says double A is halfway flamed to the edge. Triple A is full coverage. Quadruple A, no longer a designation, is deep, vivid flamed with quilting and grain. The senior Gibson builder on the Supreme FB group posted it. And there's a Facebook group for this channel. You can click the link in the description below, join us, talk about guitars and stuff, post pictures of your guitars and things if you want to do that. Let me see. Glenn says F4C. It says it's a Graphtec nut. It will look nice, but I don't know if this model existed. Yes, it does have a Graphtec nut. What spec are you looking at? And Glenn says there's some on Reverb that mentions the specs. Pro Booker Pups, CTS pots, Grover machines, mahogany body. I'll look around. The ones I saw on Reverb were 55 reissues of some sort, but with aged glass, discontinued from like 2019. Yeah, I think we're on the right path with that, in fairness. 54, 55 would be, I'm nearly certain it's a 54 reissue you've got there, the Epiphone Les Paul Custom. So anyway, check it out. Rabbi says, gotta go, folks. Time to decorate the tree with the kids. Thank you, Dave. Have a great week, friends. Great. Thanks for joining us, Rob. I really appreciate you dropping in with us and enjoy dressing the tree. Guitar Center, that's likely what it is. Very cool. Al says, ciao to Rob F. Benny says, yeah, Dave does need a time out for never putting out a Flying VGH special. I mean, maybe I'll do it in a new year. Who knows? 2024 seems like a year I'll do some crazy shit. If I get the chance to, because why not? 2023 has been kind of shit, so we'll bounce back in 2024 with all the weird stuff. Anyways, Scott says, see you there. So we're at the end of the bottom of the chat, guys. So we'll just hang for a bit. If you want to pop anything in that's super urgent or whatever, say it now, because otherwise it'll be 10 minutes later and we'll be gone. So yeah, cool stuff. Anybody seen any cool guitars or anything lately? I don't have anything else to comment on. Oh, I think I got a message that might clear up this Les Paul question. It is okay. New 1955 Epiphone custom. Let's see. Thanks. I was surprised too. First, they offered a free used case. I don't know. The Epi 50s. Where's the information? Oh, that's on page 8. So let's go to page 1. This is this. Yeah, this is what we're looking at. It's a 2023 Epiphone Les Paul 1955 custom with Gibson P90s. So pretty good specs. Is this release that slipped by me? I'm not the world's biggest P90 fan, but it looks beautiful. What else have we got? So 2023 Epiphone limited edition, inspired by 1955 Les Paul custom outfit. $849. And that's essentially what it is. Yeah, Guitar Center have those as a special edition from what I can tell. So yeah, that appears to be what it is. F4C, you've got a 1955, obviously it's a 2023 model Epiphone Les Paul 1955 custom with Gibson P90s. So and it says outfit, so you probably got a case with it. Yeah, anyways, there you go. It was a special edition from what I'm aware of. But there you go. Thank you to Muddy H2O who sent me that and said he believes he is correct, because he always believes he is correct. The model may not be officially released according to some folks, but yeah, I've definitely seen it leaked. In that case, I've definitely seen it floating around the internets. So that's what we're talking about on that one. Anyways, what is a fancy dress party, and what if you don't have a fancy one? Fancy dress party is just a costume party, I believe they call it in some places of the world. Yeah, so fancy dress, you're wearing fancy costumes. Glenn says, I don't wear dresses, at least not in public. That's not true, Glenn. You don't have to hide your real self here. It's all good. Benny says, I'm not sure how I'll handle seeing you with a short beard, Dave. It's not that scary. It sounds scary, but I think it's you get used to it quite quickly. But also, I think I'm also all talk. I don't think when it comes to it, I don't know if I'll go through with it. So yeah, because it's a bit of a thing. It's a bit of a, I don't know. I know there's lots of people who don't know me who go, it's that beard guy, or is that guy with the beard? And some people see me out in public and they're like, oh, the scary beard guy. So, you know, people recognize me by the beard. So, and also I have merch like this sticker and this guy, who I also have on t-shirts and that I wear and I wear in public. So it'll be kind of weird if I'm wearing one of those and I don't have the long beard anymore. So I don't know if I will do it. I keep telling myself I'm going to do it eventually. Hopefully I will. I don't know. I have to do something with it. It's getting too long. I don't think I can keep growing it longer. I don't think it'll sustain another year of growth. I mean, it'll just keep growing, but I don't think I can be that person. So we'll see. Maybe just here or something. I don't know. I got to figure something out, because I do. What happens is I trap it when I'm sleeping. I'll trap it, and then I wake myself up because I'm lying on it, and I try to move, and it's a right pain in the arse waking up 6 times a night because you're lying on your beard. No matter what I do, it still ends up happening. So there you go. Anyways, now you know way too much information about me and my sleeping habits. Is that the first time you got through all the chat? I'd say YouTube made a load disappear. I did not. No, I've gotten through the chat quite a bit. It's the first time in a while, like in a few months, because chat has been picking up, and strangely enough, we've had more people in chat tonight than we've had in a good while. So yeah, it's definitely been a weird one. And if YouTube has been deleting comments, that's a strange one. I may have to look into that, but I haven't seen any obviously I haven't seen any that have disappeared. But yeah, hopefully we can keep that up. Although it's better when you don't strangely, it's better when you don't get all the chat, because it means that you're super popular. So yeah. But it's all good. F4C, thanks for the info on my Les Paul, everyone. You're quite welcome. It's a very cool guitar. I like that. It's a mystery, so it's all good. Rob says, DMAC, yes, I have one for sale on a few forums. Benny says, thanks for the great show, Dave. Cheers, mate. Take care, y'all. Thanks, Ben. Hope you're doing well, man. Take care of yourself. Have a good week. Glenn says, I can't remember him getting to the bottom of a chat in a long time. It has been a long time. Let's see, what else have we got? Just put your nicest dress on, Scott. You'll look fine. There you go. See, I love that. I love how we support each other in this community. It's all good. So yes, I love it, but I would have medical bills, so have to go. I have to let a few go. That is a valid reason for letting them go. Money H Show says, there you go, sir. Haven't read through, but sounds like those in that thread are trying to find out as well. T says, plait up your beard, bud. Oh man, I can't do it to myself. Glenn says, Dave, you're scary with or without your beard. Oh, thanks, Glenn. I appreciate you, man. Money says, wrong form. It's my Les Paul form, not gear page. I can't read, apparently. It's true. It's true. Base Fox 11 fourth says, go for the dime bag look, Dave, due to the beard. Would dye, or dye the beard. There was a guy I worked with, and he was like, yeah, now that you've shaved your head and you got the beard, you just got to do Kerry King. I don't know if I do have to, but that's what he was at me for that until I left that company. Nobody tell Dave I deleted 300 messages. He feels less important. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, man. You're my second favorite mod on the channel right now. Dave cheated, skipped a bunch, caught you. I mean, I skipped stuff where you guys were talking to each other, but you know the rules. If it's important, you got to tag me in it. Once we get to like 11:30 anyway. But either way, stop ratting me out, Al. I'm trying to get away with it. You're a bad man, Muddy. I like your style, says T. And we shouldn't encourage him like that, for sure, T. Come on. Ryan says, good night, everyone. And Scott says, thanks, chat. You guys rock. Indeed you do. Thanks so much, guys. It's been super cool hanging out with you. As I said, hope to get more videos, more higher quality videos done next week and forwards. So yeah, we will do, we've 2 more live streams before Christmas, just in case anyone didn't get that part. With 2 more live streams next week and the week after, we'll do a live stream. And then we're taking 2 weeks off, and we'll be back in January. So definitely, just no matter what, unless something emergency-wise happens, I will definitely be on those 2 streams. Video should be out earlier next week. I will try not to forget to upload them. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me. It's been a cool Saturday night hanging with you guys. My name is Chord Dave. I'll be back with another guitar-related video very soon. But until then, buy my merch and take care.